Like, how are you gonna find out someone's favorite fast food and also when they're done with their fast food? Like, you're not gonna find that.
Action.
Trevor May! Paul, a.k.a. Action Jackson. Some of our favorite people. My gosh. There is growing up that happens. I mean, no one can tell our voices apart anyway. That's very true. Good point, Trevor. Thanks, Paul. Hello, listeners, watchers, folks. Thanks for tuning in. It is episode 11 of season 3 of the May Contain Action podcast. Today, we might have to change that name because I am joining you, as always, Paul, aka Action Jackson, and joined by future former Hall of Famer, Trevor May.
Future.
Today's special. What? Trevor, you're ruining the... I'm not done. Like it was a long pause.
Continue.
Trevor's here. But now also, we have the one and only, our tentacled friend, purple in color, Jenntacles is here!
Yay!
Yay!
Oh, wow.
And she has...
Man, nothing
COVID.
sucks the energy out of a room.
She has COVID.
She's got
Dad's
COVID.
got COVID.
Yep. Everyone listening, you have COVID now.
Oh, no.
And
Oh,
everyone's gone.
now it's-
but
now
hey,
it's
they
gone.
downloaded it, so
Yeah.
That's true.
We got what we wanted.
Download it. Oh,
we got
my.
what we wanted from them.
Wow. I feel like I don't have... I feel like PM would have matched my energy. You know what? PM's here too, by the way. He's just hanging out in the back.
Paul, I just think it's unfair of you to expect me to match that energy while I'm decaying. I'm falling apart.
Yeah, dude.
Wow,
Trevor,
okay.
Trevor could have matched you.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Trevor
I
really
didn't
let
realize.
you down, though.
Wow, Trevor did let me down.
Yeah.
Trevor did let me
Sorry.
down. But
I did,
that's
especially
not-
when I hit you for 28 yesterday in Magic.
Okay.
I was about to
all right.
mention Magic. I just
No,
want you
I
to know,
actually
after Trevor
feel bad
got
about it.
off, like my chat was just talking about how big your hands were to the cards.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they were hilariously large compared to the
Yeah.
cards. Yeah.
Comically.
Yeah.
Now
comically,
next
that's
time
what
we
I'm looking for,
play,
comically
I'm going to
large.
have those tiny hands on my fingertips. I'm just going to play with
Yeah.
tiny hands.
Oh, those make me uncomfortable. That's too many fingers. Is that a thing? Is there like a phobia about too many fingers? Because I have it.
Oh,
Like when AI generates
look
an
it
image and you have like 6 fingers, I'm like,
which is every time.
reminds me of those hand things from Elden Ring. It's like hand spiders.
Oh,
Oh.
ooh.
Yeah.
No,
Those were horrible.
no, I don't
hated
like that.
those. I don't like that at all. We start off every podcast, a little update, little, hey, how you doing? What's going on since last time? PM, you want to be involved in this, dude, or?
Said he
Take
was
that as a no.
No.
He's in. All right.
Yeah. He said
I
he
wanted
was
to hear it from his dog water mic himself. All right, he said no.
Also, it
That's
might
fair.
be chirophobia. That's the fear of hands.
Chirophobia.
Chirophobia.
I don't fear hands in general, just when they have one extra digit, you know?
That's weird that because
Tips
it
it.
says
Tips it for me.
from the Greek word creo, which is hand. But like, do chiropractors? I don't understand now.
Oh. Maybe they
Anyway, we're off
started off
topic.
cracking
You guys want to
hands
unpack
and
that for the next 20 minutes, or
No. Did you know you have sinuses in your back?
okay?
Here we go.
Yes, and it's probably they probably serve a very important function, and that's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah, chat told me any cavity in your body, any pocket, is called a sinus.
Really?
So then we're
Yeah.
covered in sinuses. If pores are then sinuses?
No, because it's like an open. It open. That's not a sinus.
It's a tube. Is it a
Oh, okay,
tube?
sorry.
Where's it
That's
go?
foolish.
You know?
Okay.
Where pores-
All right.
where pores
Where
go?
does
Trevor,
anything
how was your
go?
week, man? What are you up to?
What am I up to?
got
My
going
week was
on?
good.
Yeah?
Kate was out of town over the weekend.
Okay.
Which is super sad, and I had all this free time. It was awful. So I did a subathon. I streamed for like 20 hours, played a bunch of video games, made a video, made another video, came up with other video ideas, but then I didn't leave the house. So that was kind of the trade-off there.
Sure.
I had to like go up to the north part of where of the island, as we call
Mhm.
it. And
That's what we call it.
I used to be like iffy about saying the general area, but I realized my PO box is in the same area, so like it's kind of hard to keep it a secret at this point. But the
Nice.
I went up to the pharmacy, and that was like the first time I'd left the house in 3 days. Like truly
Oh,
left
wow.
it, and I was like, man, this is something I got to pay attention to, or it will get out of hand.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Very easy to
but
stay in your house.
it's just
Especially with
so
your
great.
house. Your house is beautiful. So I'd stay in that thing all the time.
Yeah, I
Why
got a
would you
new
ever leave?
rug too.
Yeah.
Put that in. Yeah, I got a rug in my office, dude. This thing is starting to feel more and more homey.
Come
If
on.
you or if you're watching the video on YouTube, which I hope you are, you'll be able to see like there's a new plant behind me.
Nice.
I'm adding plant. I'm just trying to get it more green in here, and just feel like a true, I
Yeah.
don't know, lived in space. So
Oh, for sure.
it's
Look at you.
yeah, it's like Kate
Get
called
yourself
it.
a scented candle.
Oh, I got
No?
lots of scented candles. I keep
Come on.
leaving them burning though, like all day, and I look over and I'm like, oh, that's 2/3 gone already.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to
Also,
remember to
that's
blow those
not
things out.
good. That's not good for you.
So it just
Excuse
burn.
me?
Yeah.
It'll
Well,
it'll like accumulate soot and stuff if you burn it too long.
I try
Soot.
to. Yeah, in a closed space. Yeah, I try to.
Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to kind of like incense it. You're supposed to like run it. You're supposed to like light it, let it burn for like 15 minutes, and then the smell just stays for hours. So it's like,
Yeah.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
but I keep
didn't
forgetting
know
to
that.
blow it out.
Yeah. I just let it run forever.
So yeah, I'm probably just been breathing wax.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Nice. We're already
no,
full of
just moving in,
microplastics.
dude.
I'm sure it's fine.
Just
Nice,
like,
man.
I'm in my. Kate calls it a rot period because we were just kind of like melting into our house, like just setting down roots. I'm like, I like to
Wow.
think of it out as getting grounded, but we can call it rot.
She's been watching way too many
Putrefaction.
mushroom documentaries.
Yeah, I think so.
We're
It's like the
decaying
whole.
into
We're
the
decaying.
forest
It's like
floor.
the whole winter thing too. Like we're supposed to just be for like December and January, and
Oh,
then,
yes.
come blossoming out of the manure.
Okay.
So, but yeah,
Just
it's
say
been great.
ground.
Just a
Good,
good
man.
It was a good week, man. Good week. How's your guys' weeks going?
Hell yeah. Yeah, Jen, what do you got going on this week? You were visiting your dad for a while there? Now you're
Yeah.
back?
I did, and surprisingly, that's not where I got COVID from. But yeah, no, I spent two-ish weeks up at my dad's house, and that was really nice. I hadn't seen him since before the pandemic, actually. With our
Awesome.
schedules, we just hadn't really been able to go. He has a bunch of dogs. I have a bunch of animals, so like coordinating dog sitters and things like that was just really hard. And
How many
I
dogs
got
does he have? He's got a bunch?
for most of the pandemic, he had 4.
Whoa. Dang,
Well,
that's a lot of dogs.
he had accumulated them with my stepmom. She passed away. She had breast cancer, and so
Right.
the dogs became like his sole responsibility, and it was
Mhm.
just a lot for him. So he wasn't able to really. And he's
Mm.
your dogs become your little babies and stuff, and
Mhm.
all of his kids are grown, so he had his little babies and stuff. But
Good.
unfortunately, time passes. They were older dogs, so he's down to 1 dog. So it's it's easier for me to bring my dogs up there to stay, because there's not a bunch of dogs having to acclimate to each other.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, it could be a nightmare.
yeah, I mean, I only have 2 dogs, but they're much younger than his dogs were. Like Dexter is like a little puppy, so well, he's not a puppy. He's like 8, but he acts like a puppy.
He's
My
actually
other-
middle
He's
aged.
brand new.
My
Brand new
other dog is 13, so he's older. But it's
By
just one of those things.
comparison,
Yeah, but no, Dexter. Everybody meets Dexter, and they're like, "How old is this dog?" I'm like, "He's 8," and they're like, "He acts like he's 2." I'm like, "Yeah, I think it's like brain damage or something." He's like very, very
Yeah.
hyper.
Childlike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. He's great. But yeah, so I got to go up there. I saw snow for the first time.
That was the first time?
Sorry, I hadn't finished.
That's good.
Sorry. Sorry,
In
really
It's like in a
excited.
week.
Yeah, in like 6 years.
It's the first time ever? Sorry,
Sorry.
I had long paused. That's
I was
great.
taking a sip of my water. Sorry, it's bad timing. All right, COVID. But yeah, and then I've just been, just chilling since I got home, playing Magic with you guys.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I got COVID from my mom, who went to Epcot with my family for my cousin's 21st birthday. She wanted, for her 21st birthday, she wanted to drink around the world
Bold.
at
Bold.
Epcot.
As one does.
So it was really sweet though, because she wanted to
Lord.
do it with her parents and my mom, because my mom's her favorite aunt. So I thought it was really nice.
I did that in my 30s with endurance and tolerance built up, and I could barely do it. So at 21, sweet heavens.
She probably just breezed through it. They're so young
Maybe,
and and full of
True.
life. And
She's got that young liver, you know?
oh, my dog just ran past me. Sorry, one of my dogs has the zoomies. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just like ran through the office and dove onto the dog bed in the corner.
It sounded like they were running in place for a second there. Bed.
Yeah.
That's my favorite when I throw a ball indoors. Obi literally just runs in place for a solid 2 seconds before he actually gets going.
It's that like where their paws are like sliding out from under them.
Yeah.
And they're like, come on.
It's
He's on a
very like
treadmill.
was it Roadrunner or like
yeah.
yeah.
It's real life. I didn't think that was a real thing.
Oh, can I chime in with my shitty mic real quick?
Oh, it's real.
Is that you, God?
Ultron. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we've had a really bad ice storm here, and I think we've had like 3 inches of ice just on the streets. And George, our little corgi, and Ivy try to go to the bathroom outside, and they slide every time they do anything. And so yesterday he ran out because he likes to see if there's dogs at the other side of the fence, and he couldn't stop himself, and he just went straight into the fence sideways, like it was out of a cartoon. Like he was trying to get his feet, and he couldn't catch it, and he just slammed into it.
You're like, oh, nobody, and then you're just laughing. That's what happens.
Oh, he's fine. They bounce up like nothing happens, dude. I swear, I just feel like dogs never get injured. Like if I did half the things I see in these dog videos, it's like I'd have a broken hip, my back would be in half.
Do you get the vibe that when they bounce up though, they're trying to play it off? I get that.
Yeah, they're
from
trying
dogs.
to act
They
cool.
they shake and they're like, nothing happened, and they walk off. They're like,
yeah.
I saw you. I think that's something dogs do because they get guilty. That's for certain. I think they get embarrassed. And I think they get guilty.
Embarrassed.
I think those are real things. I think those are definitely real things dogs do.
That's really funny. They do just play it off. I'm cool.
They genuinely do get embarrassed.
Slam to a fence. Yeah,
They're sheepish.
Don't know what you're talking about.
I think it's so funny. I'm looking at the recording thing, and our stuff is little, and then PM's is like rah, 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 rah.
It's because
my
it's
AirPods.
Rah,
So
rah,
funny.
rah, 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 rah.
But yeah, I think that's about it.
Nice.
Oh, Trevor, though, I will tell you,
Yeah.
I got a service recently from my PO box that it picked a random post office, and then it forwards it to my house, so people don't know. It's not like the post office box near me.
It's a digital
not even in
PO.
Jacksonville. Yeah, it's a service through the post office though, where it'll go to a USPS, and they just forward it to me directly.
They know your address, but no one else needs to. So
Yeah,
but if
so
it
it's
gets
going
there,
to some random place in a suburb of Jacksonville now, because I had a creepy guy with my last PO box. So I took it down because the guy was like, "Well, I'm gonna wait at your PO box and take pictures and blackmail you." I'm like, "I'm not. It's not that big of a deal, but also don't wait for me, please. Don't wait at my PO box."
Oh gosh.
I was I don't.
I'll
care
be there
about
somewhere in
pictures
the
and
next
stuff.
3 weeks, weirdo. We'll have fun.
Yeah. Well, he was he
See you in a
sent
month, dork.
someone had said something in chat too about they're like, "Oh, so we could just send you stuff and know that eventually you'd have to go there."
Oh,
And enough comments about it made me uncomfortable, so I just kind of closed it down. I was like, I have a wish list. If you guys want to send me something, whatever. But people have been wanting to send me little things for a while, especially magic stuff. They're like, I have one card I want to send you. I'm like, okay, I'll make a PO box. But yeah, I got sent my first 2 things. I got 2 packs of Modern Masters, which is from 2013, I think. I opened those yesterday, and I got these 2 Commander decks, and they come with 4-inch cards, these giant cards.
Oh, 4-inch cards. Oh, that was
Yeah,
make my
if you
hands
held
look
them,
normal
Trevor, they
size?
just look they look normal. Oh, my dog.
Hey dog.
Guys, we're not just podcasters. We're real people.
We're dog owners.
We're dog owners.
You guys
We're cat
you don't
owners.
edit this at all? There's no
No, I
mean,
fix it in post?
No.
No, it's more fun this way. I mean, we
Yeah.
could, but I'm not gonna cut the dog out we're in our homes.
Come on.
You cut out of your stream. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I've been
So how
playing
was
with
your
this little
weekend,
limp all the
Paul?
time.
Oh my gosh, Jen. Thank you so much for asking. It was good. It was a good week. What did I do? Not much. I won't lie to you. Not much. I got a little bit going on though. I'm joining a soccer league. So I'm doing that. I haven't played an organized sport in a very long time, and I'm looking forward to it. So it's tonight, actually. It's first game, and it is at 9:55 p.m. So I'm going to die, I think, as soon as I hit the field. Just gonna fall over. But I'm excited nonetheless, and working on my endurance. I usually play keeper, and the guy who's organizing it is as goalie. Well, if the Americans who don't know, is
I
crazy.
usually
Americans.
play keeper.
Usually play keeper. It's no big deal. And I'm good at it. Like I'm not incredible. I'm good. I'm a good keeper. And so I usually play that, and no one ever wants to play keeper when they play soccer. The guy who organized it only plays that. So now I'm kind of like, well, I'm going to have to run the field, and I'm going to be sucking wind. It's going to be like when we went on that hike, Trevor, but like times 10.
You mean that
It's gonna be bad.
walk in the morning that turned into a hike up Mount Everest?
Freaking hike up every hill and mountain in your neighborhood. So
It's like, you ready to see everything?
You want to see all of where's Seattle? Washington State?
Yeah, the whole thing. You want to see all
Oregon? Washington is Washington. So yeah, anyway, so I'm doing that. That's what's going on. Being athletic, doing that kind of stuff. What else? I'm looking around my room. I'm into 3D printing, but you guys already knew that? I think I showed off Darth Vader last week, so I think we're good there. I have a lightsaber holder. I mean, I don't know. I got nothing really happening. What's going on with Ezra? Ezra's good. He's still healthy. You know, he's doing crazy. He's trying to avoid his teeth being brushed. I'll tell you that. Every time.
There we are.
Yeah.
Just
I
like convince him it's candy, and it's just a breeze.
He freaking sucks the toothpaste right off that thing. It's watermelon flavor. Just sucks it right off. Liz loves it. I barely brush his teeth with anything.
That's actually the problem. Got it. He won't brush his teeth because he likes it too much. Got it.
Well, and then the other day he was like, he didn't want to have his teeth brushed, and so he like shoved his head into my chest. And I was like, all right, like I'll take a hug. You know, I'll take them where I can get them. I hear these things don't last very long, so I'm gonna take these hugs while I get them. And so I just like stood there for a little bit, took the hug, and I was like, all right, like, you know, it's time to brush your teeth. And then he's like, no, mo hug. And I was like, okay, well, we can hug more. A few minutes later, okay, all right, hug. All right, it's time to brush your teeth. No, mo hug. I'm like, okay, you're not gonna avoid the teeth brushing, bud.
He found a cheat code.
Yeah. He's like, wait a second. Yeah, exactly. Which kind of
you had? By the way, you and him. Your chat clipped this the other day, but you were watching Callie play.
Oh, yeah.
And when you were watching her and like just like analyzing, because you're watching Tarkov, which by the way, it dawned on me. I'm like, Ezra is like less than 2 years old. He's just watching like a very brutal military video game, and not that anything bad was happening, but I'm like, he's just intuitively taking this in. That's very interesting to me. That's something that, you know, I'm like, I wonder what that means.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I mean, you're a dad. I'm sure I'm sure every little thing that happens, you're like, I wonder how that's going to play out. You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's just a constant thought. But
I wonder what scarred him for life. What will change his behavior as an adult? You know, what have I done that fundamentally alters his brain chemistry? You know?
I have a theory that's just a losing. They're going to be one way or the other, and then they're probably going to have to adjust the other way at some point, anyways. No matter what you do.
Oh, so, for sure.
I feel like you can't scar them as children until they're like 5 or 6. Like, I think you have time before it really matters.
Nah, they're good. They're good. And
they're resilient.
But they clipped it. But this moment where he copied what you were doing. So you had your finger to your mouth, and you're like watching the camera, and he like looked side eyes at you, and then put his finger to his mouth, and was just doing exactly the same way as you, and you didn't notice. And I was like, oh my god, that was the cutest thing I've ever seen. He's already the cutest baby ever, but like for him to look up at you and then do it, I was like, kids are crazy, man.
Come on, it is very cool, dude. He's just starting to do like little behaviors like that, where it's like, oh, like I'm definitely your dad. Like you got that from me.
Yeah.
Like it's a real quick story. My brother-in-law comes over in the mornings sometimes, and he was here, and he had mismatched socks on, and I don't know why I have a strong aversion to mixed match socks, like mixed match socks. So I pointed it out, and he was like, "Yeah, I know they're mixed match. Like I didn't do laundry, whatever." And then like a couple hours later, he sees Ezra for the first time, and Ezra's like, "Socks?" Immediately points to the socks, and he's like, "Son of a bitch!" Like
he's like, "What are those?"
Yeah, yeah. I was like, "It's my son."
Him doing that, I can imagine him just
It's
like
cool.
slowly looking at you, like, "Yeah, I get him,
Yeah.
Dad."
You see this dude? You see this idiot?
See this guy?
You're
It
both
was
so
great.
judgy. Yeah.
Yeah. It was really,
Teach
really
him to
good. It was really, really good. Teach him to judge.
And they're gonna get some of this stuff.
Well, thank you for asking. We do, in fact, to our listeners and watchers, have a movie review today. If you were wondering, now that we've talked about our days and weeks,
We were doomed as soon as Ezra got brought up because Paul could talk about Ezra for hours.
Yeah. It would be bad news.
That's a good thing.
I digress. So we do have a movie, and because Jen picked the movie, Jen, do you want to announce what movie that we're reviewing today?
Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah, I just wanted to hear it in that voice. Yeah. Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
You want to say it? You can do it if you want to do it.
No, that was honestly no notes. No notes.
Emperor's New Groove.
No. It was so good. Do you want to read some the stats, Jen? I don't know if you have them Monday. I can read them, obviously, but
Can I do it? I don't think she has it in front of her. Yeah, she's got all the categories. But I would love to introduce this one because I have some questions actually.
Yes, I don't have any stats.
Trev, introduce the movie, bud.
So Emperor's New Groove, those of you that aren't familiar, it is an animated comedy. It says animated comedy, which actually isn't the category for a lot of Disney movies. Like they don't throw comedy on it. So like this one's like actually like a pure comedy. It's supposed to be funny the whole time. And it is. I feel like it's the first maybe the first true comedy I even saw as a kid that was just supposed to be funny the whole time. It was released in 2000, which 2000, big year for movies.
Mm-hmm.
That's like right in the middle of the Lord of the Rings releases. That's like, that was a big year for a lot of different stuff. Somehow the budget was $100 million for this movie.
Sweet heavens.
Well, you know what happened to it, right?
No.
What happened?
Or I think I might have an inkling what you're about to say, but I would love for you to enlighten us. What happened with it?
Well, the movie was made twice.
That is true.
It was made originally as like what, Empire of the Sun or something?
Empire of the Sun, yeah.
Yeah, and it tested so poorly they remade it, and that's what we got. But that's why the song at the end, you know that Sting song at the very end of the movie, it like doesn't fit? It's because it was for a different movie.
Oh, it's from the first movie.
That Sting song was like very jarring.
It was very out of place because, and there's a documentary of the original movie out there somewhere.
Yeah, I've seen that, and but all I really remember is how they explained how it was animated, and they actually got away from this animating style very quickly after this. Then they started to get once they got Pixar, animation changed.
Yeah,
it was like crazy. And they figured out how to do even drawn digitally as well. But this one was one of the last ones they had to do, like drawing all the frames. That's why all of the backgrounds are static, because it's so expensive to move the background. So it's usually just like one character moving on a static frame, which is why it's confusing that it was $100 million to make, but it didn't make $169 million. So I'm like, dude, $100 million. That was like a Avengers. Like, this is great.
That's a lot of money. Yeah.
That's a lot of money. And spent 2000? That's crazy for an animated movie. But it made lots of money. It's had a couple spinoffs. The Emperor's New Groove inspired Kronk's New Groove, which was meh. And I think it might have went straight to VHS because it's 2005. And the Emperor's New School was a show that actually went for 3 years. It's pretty cool.
Really?
The cast: David Spade, very clearly David Spade as Kuzco, John Goodman as Pacha, Eartha Kitt as Isma, Patrick Warburton, my guy, as Kronk, Chaka is Wendy Malik, Tom Jones is the theme song guy as himself. So that is actually Tom Jones singing, and he's supposed to like be himself when he sings the theme song. And then John Fielder as Rudy, which is the squirrel, which we'll get into that in a bit.
So
Okay, that explains it. It says Rudy on the list. I'm like, who is Rudy?
Rudy's the. I realized I was watching and I was like, oh, they don't say. I think the name said once. It's like
Yeah.
right
Also,
at the
you
end
said
when they're
like Cha Cha, and I was like, you mean Pacha?
Pacha.
Pacha.
I said Chaka, didn't I?
Yeah,
No,
something
no,
like
no.
that.
Chaka is a character. So it's Pacha
Who's
and
Chaka?
Chaka. Chaka is Pacha's wife. They're Pacha and Chaka.
Oh, so you
Pacha.
okay? Gotcha.
Oh.
So you,
You know
just
what's interesting?
didn't put Pacha. That's fine.
So yeah, Chaka is interesting because it says on IMDb that it's Kellyanne Kelso.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
dude, that might
the
have been the
voice
original one.
is definitely Wendy Malick. Yeah,
Right.
That's really interesting.
That might be the first time because remember they moved they changed a bunch of stuff. Like they used the Sting song because like we got Sting to do a song even though it's not for this movie. We got to use it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah,
I wonder if
we
they brought in
paid
Wendy
Sting
Malick
so much
from
money.
what is that show that he was on? David Spade.
he was on a show.
Yeah, with her. They were on a show together.
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh, it's a sitcom.
Just shoot me. Just shoot me.
Just shoot me.
There's a
Yeah.
photography.
Oh, look at that! Just shoot. Wow.
Because it was during that time. It was 97, 93. I just looked it up. So I wonder if they pulled her in because he just knew her to do
Maybe.
the voice and she did it uncredited.
There you go.
Ooh, that could be it. But I thought the voice. I
Interesting.
thought the casting for that was great. Though we
That
will
should
talk
be
about
great.
the casting later because I think one of my favorite things to do is dream up new people.
Right.
But
So I will add this right now. Apparently, it was going to be called Kingdom in the Sun, and it was going to be deeply rooted in spiritual and cultural elements of the Inca Peru, and it says in the style of like it says Prince and the Pauper style plot. Like it was going to be really
Really?
serious, like Prince of Egypt.
Oh, gotcha.
yeah, that's probably why I didn't land.
Yeah.
And then, but because Pocahontas didn't perform, and Pocahontas and Hunchback of Notre Dame didn't perform well, they were concerned about Kingdom of the Sun's future, so they redid it. Funnier.
Interesting that Pocahontas didn't do well. I thought Pocahontas did very well.
Apparently
Well,
it's
both of those
they were
movies have done really well since.
Yeah,
But-
maybe
Yeah.
not at the time in box offices.
That's true.
Weird to think that those were kind of maybe a.
I feel like Disney
a
movies lived
chance.
on in VHS. Like that's where all the movies that I like, I remember from VHS. It's not from movie theaters as a kid.
Oh yeah, I didn't say
Oh,
anything.
sure.
live.
Yeah.
Or DVDs, I guess. But
I mean,
and
I'm
then
not-
anyone listening, born after 2000, a DVD is
I'm not. Don't worry.
DVD.
There's no one younger than that listening. I actually, it's worth maybe researching in a bit, but like, I think there was more that actually went straight to VHS than we maybe even think. I don't even know if I don't think like every major, like in the 90s, I don't know if every major Disney movie actually went to theaters. Because
No, yeah, a lot of them went straight to VHS.
just because of the like because the barrier to entry for kids going to movies was like definitely there. Like it's just I feel like it's easier. It became easier to get kids to movies as time went on, just because of the way that everything worked, and then they started to do it. But now
Yeah.
Pixar's like now they're big releases when Pixar movies come out.
I never went to the movies as a kid for Disney.
Yeah.
I always saw it in VHS.
Yeah. It was always like anything you saw in the movie theater was like live action. Like, that's what you went to movie theaters for.
Exactly.
It's weird.
Oh yeah.
Wow, interesting. So
Nailed
yeah,
the
that's our movie. We're we like doing an animated movie every once in a while. We've done the Goofy movie. Was Paul's version of The Emperor's New Groove, which was also awesome. So
Oh,
Well,
my
you
God.
had asked like movies from like my
Oh, it's
childhood that I felt
it's
like
great.
had shaped. Like I feel like this movie shaped my sense of humor drastically.
I feel the same way. It all came back. I'm like, oh my God, I've been quoting all of this stuff
Yeah, I quote this a lot.
so much. I'm like, wait, I think that Kronk maybe made me the way that I am. This
You are
might be-
very Kronk coded. Yeah, you're very
I am,
Kronk-coded.
and I was like, "Oh my God, did I love him so much that I just formed my entire personality?" And I just happened to Patrick Warburton.
He's also just such a. I know he voice acts his own voice. You know,
Yeah.
like I know everything is, but it's
I
still
don't
so
know.
good.
It
Like
is.
it's so good,
So
It is.
breathy.
it's just I don't know.
so deep,
How are you
so
doing?
breathy.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Okay. So we have our category. Sorry,
Yes.
it's great. Jen, awesome. By the way, awesome anecdotes. Like that's what we're looking for. You're crushing it.
Mm-hmm.
This,
Yeah.
you might be natural for this. But we have our categories, and this is my favorite one. Hopefully, no one looked these things up, but I know we got researchers here in the group, and sometimes look them up. We started doing this last week, and it was awesome. But moving forward, we're trying not to look up the Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, and Letterboxd, and we're gonna guess what those scores are. So, Jen, basically, I'll just ask everyone, what do you think the Rotten Tomatoes overall score is? What do you think the IMDb score is, and what the Letterboxd score is? Are you familiar with Letterboxd and the scoring system there? Like,
No, I've never heard of it before.
so Letterboxd is just like it's like the Goodreads for movies. So it's just like the social media.
Like 1 to 5 stars.
Yeah, well, it's 1 to 5. So 1 to 5, and it's just like Goodreads too. So so just imagine people are a little bit more harsh usually than the tomato meter is.
I have a lot of opinion. I think Goodreads is too soft on certain books, Trevor, and I maintain my stance on this.
No, she's one of them.
I agree with that.
Okay,
Hype also works in Letterboxd. So we'll go Rotten Tomatoes, which is a percentage. IMDb, which is 7. I almost said the number. IMDb, which is out of 10, and Letterboxd, that's out of 5. So, Jen, what are your guesses for the scores on this movie?
Okay, are we doing critics or audience or combined?
The combined, the big one.
It's like I feel like the audience rating for Rotten Tomatoes is probably really high because it's like everybody loves it. Maybe 75%.
Okay.
What about IMDb?
All right, what's your
out of 10?
I'll say like 7.5. I think I'm gonna go like 70, probably 75% for all of them because I don't know if critics are gonna like it that much, but I feel like the audience will like it a lot.
So is that Letterboxd 3.5
Yeah, we'll do 3.5 on Letterboxd.
or 3. What was it? What would it actually be? 3.75?
I don't know.
Holy
Math
hell!
is
What
for
is the math
blockers
there?
is what I've learned. So
Wow. Yeah. Okay. We'll just go 3.5 to Letterboxd. Okay. Paul, what do you think?
All right, Rotten Tomatoes, I'm going to give a 78. I'm going to give IMDb a 7.2 and Letterboxd a 2.5.
Whoa, 2.5 on Letterboxd, huh?
Yeah.
That's actually kind of a smart swing. But you guys might get surprised a little bit. So on Rotten Tomatoes, the critic score is actually higher than the audience score, and it's an 86 overall.
shit. Sorry,
IMDb
can we swear on this
7.3.
podcast?
Yes, you can.
You kidding me?
We talk about Elon Musk all the time. We swear all the time.
Shit.
IMDb is a 7.3, which is good. A good
Hey,
IMDb
Ooh.
score.
that was so close.
That's really good. And then Letterboxd is actually a 3.9, which is
Oh, wow.
really high for Letterboxd for an animated movie. That's really good. Like a 4, if it's a 4 or higher, it's like a in conversations for awards that year usually.
Yeah.
So like this is like a lot of people's favorite animated movie, which I think falls through the cracks because if you ask anybody, no one mentions it. But if you bring it up, they're like, "Oh my god, yeah, that's in my top 3." I
watch this movie like once a month. Like I watch this movie a lot.
It's so good, and it's only an hour and 20 minutes long. It's like
It's
literally
a comfort movie. I put it on
It's
when I'm like
nice.
cleaning and stuff. Like I
it's
just
great.
like listening to stuff.
Yeah, the background stuff is good.
Yeah.
Okay, dang. It's not bad. Highest without going over. I mean, we're doing Prices Right
highest
rules.
without going over. Oh, so we're doing Prices Right rules, huh?
It's just saying Prices Right rules. I think I'm in the showcase. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I didn't know this was like a competition type thing. So
Yeah,
it
there's
is
a
for
boat.
Paul.
You win a boat at the end of it.
Yeah,
We have a boat.
gotcha.
Paul won
Trevor
last
has a
week
boat.
easily.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, pretty
I think
nuts,
because
so.
I won the Letterboxd one and that's the harder one, I think I get a weighted advantage there.
We're gonna give you some floaties. I'll take the boat.
it's a tie.
It's a tie.
It's a tie. Moving on.
It's a tie. All right, we got some categories to cover. I know we have a lot of opinions about this movie, so let's get into it. The first category, well, I guess the second after the Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb and Letterboxd, is the Vivian Ward rating for
This
the
is so
opening scene. Rated 1 to Vivian. Jen, are you familiar with our rating system?
I was sent a Word document. By the way, I could not open it. I had to somehow open it as a PDF and then put it in the.
Excellent work.
In the
I
future, it
did-
will be a PDF.
Okay. But yeah, I did see that the Vivian Ward rating for the opening scene.
Yes,
It's rated 1 through Vivian. So,
correct.
Yes.
All right, good. All right, and are you familiar with the reference? Because Trevor would love to tell you.
I guess maybe it's because the intro scene to Pretty Woman is Vivian Ward walking down the street. It's commonly referred to as the best opening in film, Paul.
Well, there you go, Jen. That doesn't seem read
That
off of the
sounds.
script.
Whoever wrote that has an amazing voice.
Yeah.
Amazing
Sounds
voice.
like Patrick Warburton. It's crazy in my head.
All right, I will.
Pretty good.
You know what? I'm gonna go first on this one, and I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna give this one to Vivian. I'm gonna give it to Vivian.
I
it
also
nails
give
it.
it to
Vivian too,
Vivian.
dude. I'm Vivian
give
too.
it to
It's a
Vivian.
great intro.
It's a great intro. I give it to Vivian.
Look at all of us. It tells
It's
you
up there,
exactly
man.
what you're in for.
And then
Immediately.
the song, I considered the song part of the intro too.
Oh yeah. That whole intro.
Yeah,
It's because
come
that's
on.
all the way up to Isma. Us meeting Isma
Yeah.
from the very
I
beginning to
considered
that
that,
is
yeah.
the intro. Yeah.
I thought it was great. I
God.
love the fourth wall breaking. I love the silly song. I love how it kind of, you really get an idea of his personality. And I like the anime. I love the animation of this movie. Even if the backgrounds are static, I still think it looks like classic animation to me.
Oh
know?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They did it perfectly. Like they executed it. Like it's just what it was. Like that's how that's the tools they had. It was, and they did it wonderfully. Like even that one where they're like running around and they're on a map and they kind of just like the chase. They made the
funny.
not a ton of. They didn't need to do a ton of animation for that to make it, but it was still really, really, really well done.
I think one of the funniest parts of the movie is where they're like, "How did we beat?" Like they're like, "How did you beat us?" And they're like, "How did we beat you?" And
By all
it's like
accounts, it doesn't
and it
make
shows the
sense.
map. It shows the map where they just like cut across. That was so funny.
They just fall down and then they're just there and they're like, I don't know,
Yeah.
and then they just move on.
They move on.
And then they just move on. Like the producer's like, we don't have a way to make this work. So
All right, that was pretty good. All Vivians across the board.
I
I
think
don't think
it's
we've
a
ever had that before.
The pouting crying from Spade is iconic.
Oh,
for
in the
me.
beginning, yes, he does that really well. I did notice
He
that.
does.
I was like, I kind of want more of it because it's really funny. He did a great job.
I can't point to another like voice actor I've heard like do little things like that so well, like little noises and like things to make the character unique. I can't point to many that where I'm like, that's something only they can do.
Yeah,
I don't know. It just like struck me. I was like, that's really unique, and that's why I like this. I think
David Spade is very good at like the whiny kind of a character. Feel bad for me character, i.e. Joe Dirt.
Exactly.
All right, our next category, because that was really easy. The Ents Attack Isengard Award for Best Scene or Scenes. Jen, why don't we start with you? What'd you have? What are your best scenes?
So I had two. Well, I lied. I had three that struck me as the best. Yzma and Kronk devising the plan to kill Cusco. The poison for Cusco, Cusco's poison, all of that.
Yeah.
I thought that was, and when she's like, we're going to turn him into a flea and then put the flea in a box and we're going to mail that box to me and I'm going to smash it with a hammer. I love that part.
Postage. Yeah.
Yeah, save postage. Yeah. We'll just poison him. It's so funny. I like that one. I like the Kronk, the devil and angel scene where he's like arguing with the devil and angel on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And I love, most of my favorite scenes have Kronk in them. And then the diner scene, where they're walking in and out of the doors.
Oh, yeah.
Like ordering. I just think that's like classic, comedy. I just thought that was so good. And Kronk just like being in his element in that diner. I thought it was so good. And like when they're lifting up the menus and putting them down, it creates like actual tension where you're like, oh my God, they're right in front of each other. Like it's so good.
Those are all very good scenes. I couldn't help but notice that Kronk is in most of those scenes.
Kronk is my favorite character. Yes.
Yeah. Spoiler alert for the next
Spoiler
alert
alert
for the categories.
Sorry. I mean, cut it in post.
Yeah. In post. Trevor, what about you?
So the diner scene is up there for me too for that same reason, but also adding in the the way that they don't, it's not like breaking the fourth wall, but they just like put stuff into the world that just like it doesn't make any sense for the time, but it's fine. Like they do it all the time.
Yes.
Like when Rudy the squirrel pops a balloon animal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Why are there balloons? It doesn't make any sense.
Or he goes and whispers to the waitress, and they're like, yeah, we do that all the time. Like they're like, I thought it was gonna be something like running interference or something. Then they just like, happy birthday. And I was like, yeah. And then Isma's like, oh my God. And they escape. I thought that was awesome. But when Kronk comes out and goes, it's your birthday. I was, he's just so oblivious and so innocent and so the best. Or when she's plotting with him and she has to go into the double Dutch line and they're doing double Dutch while she's plotting with him. Like that kind of stuff got me going. But I really love my favorite scene, probably the top, because Kronk's also up there for me. Obviously, when he's doing the spinach puffs thing, but she's like, give him his drink, and he's like, right, right, like he does.
Right.
He's always like big
Yeah.
wink at her.
Yeah.
I it's just so funny, and he's just oblivious, which is believable because he's obviously doesn't pay attention to anyone but himself. So like they developed the characters really well too. So I was like, this is so funny, and
He's
it's
very
funnier
in
now.
his own head. Yeah, he's very in his own head.
Very in his own head.
Like
Struggling.
the camping scene where he's like, in his little tiny tent. Like, I thought that was so funny too. Like, East was in this big normal tent, and then Croc's outside with only like his like groin covered by this
Couldn't be
tent.
happier either.
Yeah, and
With a
he's
teddy
just
bear.
like, but he's having these moments of like, the peasant, and then he's like, okay, blah blah blah. He goes back to sleep. The peasant, I thought it was so funny.
What about you, Paul?
Oh gosh.
Anything we didn't take?
No, yeah, really. I mean, you guys took a lot of them. I mean, I kind of echo a lot of those same things. I'm trying to think of anything else that wasn't really mentioned, but I mean, I think my favorite time in the movie was definitely in the restaurant. I thought that was one of the best overall scenes because it has one of my favorite quotes in it. And anytime Kronk is talking about food, I love it. Yeah, I love that he gets so distracted with the whole like death potion. He's just only thinking about like those spinach wraps and all
The
that
spinach
stuff.
puffs, yeah.
Spinach puffs, yeah.
And then
So-
that's how she hurts his feelings later. She's like, and I never liked your spinach puffs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I want to eat whatever Kronk is making. Like I just want to. He made food sound so good that
He's
I
just a
want
little himbo. Like he just wants to be a little
It's so
himbo,
good.
baker. Like
Yeah.
When the
So he's
waitress
got
gives
that.
him the list of things she needs made, and he just lists them off back to her with like all the slang terms.
Like
The diner
slightly
talk,
different
yeah.
word. Yeah, the diner talk. Yeah, and
make the cow a fish or something like that.
he's like, yeah, give the moo gills or something like that. Yeah, It's
Yeah,
really
that's what it is.
So yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. All those were some of my favorite scenes, and I think overall and this is really like, I don't know if we even said this at the top, but this is technically my first time really watching this movie. I've seen,
Oh, really? I
yeah,
didn't know
I've
that.
seen clips of it, different sections and whatnot. I've obviously people like quote it a lot, but I've never sat down and watched the whole thing the whole way through. So this was it was fun. It was a fun
Did you
movie
like
for
it?
sure. I did. I liked it a lot. Yeah, it was a good movie for sure.
Did it?
Yeah.
Did it meet the expectations you had from the clips, or did you think that the clips you'd seen were definitely the best parts of the movie?
Well, I don't want to give too much away because that's kind of our last category. But
Oh,
I will
sorry.
say that no, it's all right. So I will say though that it was in the same way that watching Die Hard and hearing a lot of those action movie tropes and sayings come up, it was satisfying. It's like, oh, that's where that's from. That's why people say that. It was like, and it was funny.
Said the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, he said the thing. Yeah, I was Leonardo DiCaprio pointing at the TV
I just
with my beer.
I pointed at you guys. Like I pointed up in my monitor. He said the
Yeah.
thing.
Hey, he said the thing. Yeah, exactly. I was the meme. All right. Our next section, category, as it were. Does this movie spark any specific memories? Considering I guess actually I'll go first because I think mine's gonna be shorter. Because like I said, I haven't watched the movie before. So any specific memories for me? For this, it actually reminded me a lot of Looney Tunes, Warner Brothers style cartoons, which I loved because a lot of the static backgrounds in the kind of quote unquote older animation style, it was reminiscent of that. And I think when I was at 2000, for some reason, I was like ready for like the CGI. Like I was like, give me like Monsters Inc. and like all that kind of stuff. So it didn't appeal to me as a kid. Maybe that's why. But I did appreciate the older style of animation that was there. But that's just mine. Those are my memories. Trevor, what about you?
Yeah, I it's probably pretty similar to Jen's, but it was definitely one of my comfort. Like we had it on VHS if we wanted to laugh, like and watch. Like I was always watching with my buddies. This was one we would pick. Like in that realm of Hunchback, Pocahontas. I think Mulan was after this, but like it's close. Like those type of movies, we would choose this one because it's just like funny. Like it's just funny the whole time, and it does not take itself seriously really at all. And there's nice lessons. So I remember popping it in, and the popcorn. I think I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. The popcorn with the goldfish in it. That's what we would do.
Popcorn
We'd
with
make
the
a
goldfish.
we'd make a big bowl
yes.
of popcorn, but we put like goldfish
goldfish
crackers
in it.
also to give it a little cheesy
Yeah, a little
taste.
cheesy kick. Yeah.
And I also associate that with this movie. So I'm pretty sure we went to Jake's house. We watched this as well as also with the Goofy movie. So
this was like
this was one of those
rotation with the
movies.
Goofy movie.
Yeah, this was in rotation. I don't know. I see the movie and then I taste the popcorn with the goldfish, which is awesome.
That's really cool that you have that flavor like memory, taste bud memory.
But that's something that I like.
Memory.
I think that's something that Trevor does because I remember when WoW updated, you needed specific snacks because you associated the WoW launch with those
with
snacks,
the candy
Trevor.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
You were
do
like,
that.
I have specific things I need for WoW.
Yeah,
And
I'm a
and
big
you
like
ate them.
And then I ate them and I felt awful. But I also tried to eat my body weight in them. I didn't do that before. I just had one. And then I was like, I'm going to have 7 as we sit here in queue.
Oh my gosh.
And get the sugar sweats. And then Paul fell asleep
Sugar sweats, yeah.
in the middle of
I woke
walking.
up.
That was the only time I played WoW. I tried to play WoW so I could play with you guys.
Up.
Yes.
But by the time I leveled, you guys were done with the content, and I've never played WoW since.
That's the
That's
way
very
WoW
sad.
works. That's the
Very
way WoW
sad.
works. It sucks.
That is.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Jen? What specific memories does it spark?
I just sneezed. Oh my god.
Oh, I thought that was the memory.
Is she died? Is she gone?
Did she say I sneezed?
Oh
I
my
have-
god, I started to
That's
talk
so
and I felt
funny.
a sneeze coming. I'm so sorry.
What?
It's okay.
in the-
It's
we
great.
thought you died.
No, I tried to say it
That's
as fast as
leaving it
possible
in.
before the sneeze came out because it's a risk with COVID. I don't know what's gonna come out.
Yeah, it's true.
But
That's true.
I'm sorry. I just sneezed twice in a row. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I promise I'm happy to be on the podcast. Oh, you guys.
She hates it, dude. She hates it.
But no, so my memory was like movie marathons with my friends. A lot of these movies so Mulan came out in 98, Trevor. So it was before
Oh, it was.
Emperor's New Groove. But Emperor's New Groove was like 2000. Atlantis is 2001. If you guys, that's another movie I really love from my childhood is the Lost Empire, Atlantis, with Milo Thatch. Have you guys seen that one?
No.
Oh my gosh, Atlantis.
Atlantis.
There's a hot lady. There's a hot cartoon lady. But
Ooh.
anyway, but like Mulan, Hercules, Emperor's New Groove, those kind of movies where I kind of went through a phase in high school, like right before I graduated, where I was like, I'm not ready to be an adult. And my best friend at the time, we would just like our weekends, we would watch all these movies, like every weekend almost. We watched them because we were like almost like we were afraid to be adults, so we're like, let's just watch all the things from our childhood. Let's just reclaim our childhoods real
That's
quick.
cool. Yeah.
And I realize now that that's what we were doing at the time. We were like,
Mhm.
just want to watch some like movies or something, you know. And we would have like little sleepovers and stuff. And I always think about these as like my childhood, you know. And anytime I am like kind of really stressed, I think it helps to watch stuff from like your childhood when you know you didn't have as many responsibilities and stuff. So that's like what I think of when I think of these movies is like, you know, it's a nice break from, you know, being
Adulting.
an adult. Yeah. Because they're just silly. Like it's a really silly movie. It's not, you know,
And
but I
that's,
also,
yeah, well, I
yeah.
think it's a comedy, like you said. Like it's just straight comedy the whole way through.
right. Because a lot of Disney movies have that like tragic beginning. You know what I'm talking, you know, like where
Yeah.
someone's
Yeah.
parent has to die. Like it's
Yeah.
not like those Disney, and like even like Mulan and Hercules, like there's some bad stuff that happens, but this one is really just funny the entire time.
It's true. That's true. I didn't realize how much, lessons I learned in Disney movies until
I
this.
learned no lessons from this.
No
Yeah, no
lessons. None.
Except for
Don't
don't
be
be
a dick.
selfish.
Yeah. Basically.
But-
It was like,
No
be
lessons.
a
Yeah,
dick.
no lessons.
Yeah, no, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No lessons.
no lessons. Nothing.
Crazy. Didn't learn anything. from
Didn't
this.
learn a thing. Okay, so this one's going to be, I think, a shared one, but one nonetheless. We have to go through favorite characters. There weren't that many, obviously, but
On 3, we're all going to say our favorite character.
okay.
1, 2, 3. It's Kronk.
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 Yeah, it's Kronk.
It's Kronk.
Kronk.
It's
It's
Kronk.
Kronk.
It's
Kronk's
Kronk.
the
He's easily
Followed
the
by
best.
Rudy.
He's easily the best.
Dude,
but-
Yzma was
yeah.
my second. I think Yzma is still a really funny character.
Yzma's a very
Eartha
funny
Kitt.
character.
Yeah,
Eartha
I
Kitt's
think
great,
Eartha Kitt did a really great job because Yzma is evil, but also like not evil enough for me to not like her. You know,
Yes, exactly. She's not like a classic character where like, oh, I don't like that. Like Ursula or something like that where you're like, I don't like that
Ursula or
person.
Cruella or
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Disney villain. She's
Oh,
kind of a baddie.
they're all
like,
us? Wait. Yzma,
What?
Ursula, Cruella.
Oh, interesting.
Did we just find
Scar. Oh no,
well,
yeah.
ladies.
What's another lady one?
Maleficent guy? No?
Yeah,
Okay, that's newer.
Evil Queena,
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
pushed.
maybe
We
we
think
just
we've
found
unlimited.
three.
I
Evil
think we
Stepmother.
okay,
Maybe we
found
picked those ones because they were alliterative, and that's why we did it.
Yeah, those are really good ones. Like, I think she's kind of a baddie. Like, we were talking about this a little bit before. Like, Kronk is like in his 20s, and they are definitely together. Like, they are definitely together. And it's like, one of you said that, I didn't catch that, where they said that she replaces him, or
Yeah, like in the beginning,
Oh,
when
gets a new one.
Kuzco's narrating, and he's like, yeah, she gets a new one every decade or so, like a new
That's
boyfriend.
amazing.
so
'cause
funny.
He's only like 17, so how does he even know that she gets a new?
That's what
every
I'm
decade?
saying. Yeah, like he said.
I didn't
Also,
think-
where are his
I
parents?
guess it's like fourth wall breaking, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true.
Also, what
Like, he
happened to his
just, as
parents?
the narrator.
He knows
Yeah.
all.
There's not really there's only the people that we know in this world, really.
Yeah.
Which
Yes.
is, there's a couple of like side characters. The old man that
Oh.
gets thrown out of the
That's
one of
my other favorite character. Yeah.
yeah.
We're gonna love
Beware
him.
of the groove, and he like wiggles his arm around.
Groove.
The groove.
He goes,
I
wait,
love
and he
that
goes,
guy.
the groove.
Yeah.
The
Like, when he
groove.
gets, he says, "I'm sorry" as he's falling. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's when I
He's so
remembered.
good.
That's when I remembered. I'm like, oh my
I
god.
say
love
beware
this
of the
movie.
groove all the time.
Beware
Yeah.
of the groove.
And
Beware of
I
the
used to
groove,
do,
and then-
I'm sorry, every time. Like I said,
Yeah,
I'm sorry
yeah,
for
yeah.
anything. But I also love Rudy, how he goes, gabba, 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 gabba. I like the way he talks. I'm like, dude, that's not how Squirrel would talk, but it is. That is
Gabba,
how
gabba.
Squirrel talks.
I
That
love
is-
the
yeah.
squeaky squeakers. Like
Yes,
Squirrel
the
Scouts.
squirrel. Yep.
So good.
The squirrel language. Oh, we're blazing through these. This is an easy one. We got a lot of shared ones here. All right. Our next one.
Oh,
Vince
I have
Vaughn
8 for these.
Award for best quotes. I think we should just give it to Jen. Just let her go and
You
see if
want-
we have any others.
Jen, yeah, you go and we'll see if there's any overlap. I tried to keep
Yeah.
mine short, so
Favorite
Okay,
quotes.
First one is beware of the groove. A hand motion whispers groove. I have
Yeah.
that written down. You really should have thought of that before you decided to be peasants. Yzma
Yeah.
yells that at the guy in the beginning. You really should have thought of it before you decided to be peasants.
he's like, take him away, and he goes,
Yeah.
but, and then they grab him. He goes, oh, okay, and he just like lets him take him.
Yeah. But I've said that one a lot too. Like, you should have thought of that before you decided to be peasants. The pull the lever, Kronk, wrong lever. Why do we even have that lever? Classic.
Oh, yeah. Classic.
I probably say, why do we even have that lever every day? Like, I think that's
I
my
didn't
most
realize
quoted.
that until this movie. You do.
You've heard me say that, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, why do we even have that lever? Like, it's just that's really funny, Paul. Like, understand? You just haven't been getting that reference. That's
No,
so
I've
embarrassing.
just been taking it.
Been saying it for 4 years. Yeah. And then the flee into the box. I'll smash it with a hammer. I said that earlier. That one. The Cusco's poison speech. And then Kronk, when he's like, "Do you see that sky today? Talk about blue." Like, that was so good.
Talk about blue.
When he's trying to like pass off the poison, talk about blue. Like, it's classic. Like, how about them dolphins? Or like, whatever.
Yeah. Talk about
When he
you
goes
see
to
that
make the
guy?
drinks, and you hear him, and he goes, thunk. He's really pulling out the
Yeah.
vial. You can hear him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
So
sound
good.
design was really satisfying in the movie as
And
well.
then the Alama, he's supposed to be dead. Like, it's like that was really popular on TikTok for a while. So that one, I was like, oh, they said the thing. Kronk's whole devil and angel scene, like everything, the whole angel devil thing was so funny. Where like his devil is like, come on, you want to be on my side, you want to do this,
Yeah.
But the part where he's like going down the waterfall, he's like sharp rocks at the bottom. Definitely bring it on. That part I remember as a child. The villagers describing Yzma as ugly beyond all reason. Is what I'm like.
What's
Many
the word for you to
times.
describe her? Ugly beyond all reason.
Ugly
Yes,
beyond all
that's
reason.
it.
Beyond all
It
reason.
happens twice. Yeah, like ugly beyond all reason. I'm like, poor Ethan.
Is it ugly or is it? I thought wasn't it scary
Or scary.
something?
Scary beyond all
Sorry,
reason.
scary
Oh
beyond
yeah,
all
scary
reason.
beyond all
Sorry.
reason. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah,
Beyond all
scary
reason.
beyond all reason. And then when they're trying to go after them in the house, and she goes, "Break down the door." Cronky goes, "Break it down. This is hand carved mahogany."
Yeah.
This is hand carved
Carved
mahogany.
mahogany.
He's like, "You're not getting through this." Yeah,
Break it down.
Yeah, this is hand carved mahogany.
This is hand carved mahogany.
I thought it was so. I love that.
Those are really good quotes. Dang. Is that all of them?
That's all of them.
All right. Trevor.
I got one.
You're up. You got one. Okay.
Well, one and then kind of another one. But whenever Kuzco goes, no touchy, and like throws his hands
Oh,
up.
no
Oh.
touchy. Yeah.
No touchy.
And when he's like, bad llama, like that got me too. He goes, oh, you got your feelings hurt. I'm so mean, bad llama. And he like slaps himself in the face. That's pretty good. I'm adding a couple more. When the fly flies into the thing, it's like, help me, help me.
Oh,
Gets
yeah.
eaten by a
I
spider.
almost-
He's like,
I
too
almost wrote
late.
that down.
Do you know what that's from?
No.
No.
That's an old black and white movie. I'm pretty sure it's called The Fly.
Really?
My dad used to watch it. And that was
Oh,
a
so
real
it's like a
scene. And it
nod.
was traumatizing as a kid because this dude,
Oh,
this human
no.
being gets turned into a fly.
Oh, and then eaten?
And then he gets caught in a web in the same exact way. And he's like, you can still hear him screaming, help me, help me. And he
Isn't
gets
there
eaten.
a fly with the
Jesus.
guy,
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum? Wasn't Jeff Goldblum the fly?
No, that's the Fly, black and white, help.
I don't think it's black and white, but I know Jeff Goldblum was in a Fly movie.
Oh, it wasn't in
Or
black
he's
and
the
white.
bee.
Oh, maybe
He's the
mine
bee
was
movie,
black and
isn't
white.
he?
The
Or is
Fly,
that-
help. Dude, it's horrifying. Oh yeah, here's the scene.
I don't want
No,
to say.
Seinfeld was a bee
Oh
movie.
yeah, never mind. He's not an actual fly, but he's tiny. Oh, it is a horrifying.
Dark.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I think that's where my fear of spiders came from. And it was
Yeah.
curious.
But
Yeah, it was that.
That was funny. It shouldn't have been, but it was. And
Yeah.
then the shoulder, the devil and the angel on the shoulder, and he's got, look at him, he's got that little sissy little stringy thing. It's a harp, and you know it.
Yeah, it's a harp, and you know.
And then he's like, and
Whatever.
also look at me, I can do this, and he's doing 100 push-ups. He's like, what does that have to do with anything? He's like, oh wait, no, that's pretty cool. Or he's got a point.
Yeah.
He's got a point.
He's got a
No,
point.
he's got a point.
Those are great. And then when he's like at the end, when they pop up again, he's talking to him, but no one else can see him. They're like, what is happening? It's they're, I mean, the
And that's when
quotes
they
are,
insult the spinach puffs, and he's like, "Let me at him."
yeah. That usually works when he dropped the chandelier on her. And then when she becomes a cat, so this is my last one. When Yzma
Evil
becomes
laugh.
a cat,
Oh my gosh.
and then her evil laugh as a cat is still the best.
Dude, she
Yeah,
like
but-
fake died 4 times in that scene alone. It was like, is she gonna
The
die
maniacal
or what's
laughter
gonna?
is so good.
She like fell and fell and fell. It was like constant.
What are the
Um,
chances the trapdoor would come out right here? Like that.
So good. The end
Paul?
of the movie, they just
That
cut
covers
so
them
many
all.
corners. It's so
Yeah.
good.
You actually didn't say one, and it's the one that made me laugh the hardest. That I had to rewind it because I thought it was so good. So obviously the devil angel one is like, look what I can do. He's like, what does that have to do with
Yeah.
anything? No. He's got a point. It gets me. That got me. But not the one that I thought I laughed the hardest is when they are in the restaurant again, and they're like, oh, we're on our honeymoon, or whatever. I'm sorry, I don't know why it gets me. Emperor breaks character, and he's like, we'll take the onion log. Tico. And he goes back to the Tico. It's got me so good. We'll take the onion log. Tico. I was dying. I was like, that's the funniest thing in the world. That whole scene where like they're pretending to be a couple. It's
Is the
just like,
best.
it was so unnecessary. I'm like, what is happening in this scene? So that was great. Yeah, that's the only one you guys didn't take. And I'm happy. I'm glad I saw one that you guys didn't
take
talk
it.
about.
I had a bunch.
You
I was like
snatched
writing
them.
these down. Yeah.
Gobble them all up.
Sorry.
No, those are good.
what's Patch's wife's name again? Chaka. When Chaka snarls too.
Snarls? I remember her
I gotta
snarl.
clean something. When she's mad at the emperor.
Oh, yeah.
She goes, and I'm like, dude, they threw a snarl in here. I love it. Her snarl's great. And then she just walks off. I was like, that was a little detail that I didn't have to do. That made it way better.
Yeah.
I loved it.
All right, so that's the Vince Vaughn Award. Next up award is memorabilia. Memorabilia desire. Anything from this movie that you would want to own? Trevor, start with you. What do you want to own from this movie?
I just want Kronk's hat. That's it, with a little ball. I think if I just put on the hat, I would just be fully channeling my Kronk, and then I could just be happy.
You and Kate should be Kronk and Rudy for Halloween.
We're gonna do it. We got to do it after I'm Sloth and she's Chunk from Goonies. After that.
Gotcha.
Oh, jeez.
So we have a lot. We got a lot to do. But yeah, she should be the squirrel, and I should definitely be Kronk.
I saw. I like this
really
creator
good
on TikTok named Drew Afwalo, and she and her boyfriend were Kronk and Yzma for Halloween.
Oh, that's awesome. Kronk and Yzma. Okay, Jen, you? Would you want?
I want. I wrote this down. Hold on. I want Cuscotopia. I want like a little model of Cuscotopia with like a diorama of like Pacha's village and with a swappable Cuscotopia at the top. You know, like what
like he has at the end.
Yeah, he's like, that's what. Yeah, he's like, you know what, my village. And he's like, is that my village? He's like, yeah. And he's at the little houses. I want that with like being able to swap out like Cuscotopia.
Well, we got 3D printers. Let's see if we can make it happen.
You could totally make one of those. That's fantastic. This is for me. This one's a little bit big, but I want Yzma's lever. I want that whole system to pull a lever and just like fall.
Your laundry chute
into like I want a lever that like goes down into something. Yeah, like a laundry chute would be amazing. I actually grew up with one of those.
I actually really respect this answer. When we were in Vegas for TwitchCon, I was constantly looking for slot machines that had levers, and they don't do those anymore. Yeah, and I was really disappointed.
Yes, levers are very satisfying to pull. So like a really solid lever, I think would be amazing.
There's not enough things that are levers anymore.
Yes, and also one more.
Levers have gone out style.
Any number of those vials that Yzma had in her laboratory, because
I have a pin of that. You can get them at Disney.
Dude, that's the strongest material in the history of anything.
Oh, I mean, yeah, the clinking every time they drop it.
I was like, that thing's gonna break. Never broke. Never broke. Not once. Never even hinted at breaking. There was never even a crack animation. It was like, nope. The strongest glass in the world.
Gotcha. You want the actual. You want to harness the power of that glass.
Yes, the utility of the vial.
You don't want it as memorabilia. You want it to serve a purpose.
Build my house out of those vials.
Indestructible vials. Yeah.
Withstand a nuclear bomb easily. Yeah, that's what I want. That's just me. Those are my things. All right, best quote, memorabilia. Now the non-final one, which I always think is the last category, but it's not.
But it never is.
It never is. Cream of the Crop Award. All right, how does this movie stack up against the similar movies that came out around the same time? And here is the list. All right, be a little bit of a rapid fire here. Shrek 2001, Monsters Inc. 2001, Ice Age 2002, Finding Nemo 03, Road to El Dorado 2000, Atlantis 01, The Princess and the Frog 09. A little bit of a jump there, about a decade. Not sure how I feel about that. Kung Fu Panda 08, Megamind 010, and Despicable Me 10. Get those out of here.
You said 010?
I said 10. Look, man, I don't know about those ones. It's a decade. It's a decade.
Yeah, there wasn't much happened in the middle there. I think this is where the transition happened from Pixar to like, there's like the Toy Story. It's just all Pixar.
It's Pixar for a while.
Despicable Me and Megamind, are those Pixar movies? They're not, are they? They're DreamWorks.
No, those are DreamWorks.
Yeah, so like that's I think that's where we're getting the
exactly.
the
Even Kung Fu Panda
is also DreamWorks.
Is it? Okay, yeah. DreamWorks was doing work back in the day. It was hard to distinguish between them and Disney, honestly, at any given time. For me, this one, I mean, compared to all those, I mean, those are, I mean, at least in the beginning, those are heavy hitters. I mean, Shrek, Monsters Inc., Ice Age, Finding Nemo. I mean, those are generational type movies that so many people can relate to. Emperor's New Groove, obviously, as well, generational movie. Just from where I'm standing, from my position as having not watched this a ton as a kid, not nearly as much as either of you two, I'm gonna put this around like 3rd place, 4th place. Not
Third?
Oh,
taking
is this
out.
in order of like
Yeah,
what
like
you
where would
guys
you
consider?
slot it in?
Where would you slot it in
Oh.
your top? Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
kind
in
of.
these-
I'm
in this
technically in my own. I'm removing Megamind, Despicable Me, and Kung Fu Panda and Princess the Frog, just because they're much later. And I feel like
So you're doing
the
like a top
landscape
7.
changed.
So it's
I'm doing like a
3
top
out of
7.
the top 7. Okay.
This is about middle of the road for me. For those Finding Nemo, I think Monsters Inc., Shrek beat it out for me. But yeah, that's just where I'm putting it. Trevor, where are you putting this?
I literally put it behind Shrek, Finding Nemo, and Monsters Inc. again.
No
Also,
way.
So 4. For the only one
Wow.
that's really close, Ice Age, but like I didn't like Ice Age as much as others. I think I liked it, like it was good, but it wasn't like I'm going back to this. Like that series didn't really capture my attention. But Finding Nemo is like, come on,
Oh my gosh,
Monsters
dude.
Inc. Come on, Shrek, come on.
Yeah.
And I understand. Is Shrek? Is it Shrek 2? It's the
Shrek 2.
unanimously the good one, the better one. I mean, Shrek 1's
I think
great,
so.
but like
I think 2 is everyone's favorite.
we understand the sequel is technically people will love it more, but the Shrek series started and we were introduced to Shrek, and there's something to be said for that. So I put it 4 behind those 3, but like though it's like banger, 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 banger. Then Ice Age is like good, and then it goes from there, in my opinion.
Agreed. Yeah. Jenntacles?
Yeah, I haven't even seen Road to El Dorado. I haven't even seen that one.
You would like it a lot. You should, because it's got a lot of Emperor's New Groove in it.
Gotcha.
Rodell.
And like Tangled. It's like a combination. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Oh, I love Tangled.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Road del Dorado. Yep. Okay.
So I would remove Ice. I didn't like Ice Age. Like I liked the weird sloth. The one, or no, what's the squirrel? It's the squirrel that chases the nut. I like that.
Oh, yeah, the squirrel. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I probably would remove Ice Age. I would say I think it's I like it more than all of those movies. Maybe like
'cause
Finding
you're number
Nemo. Finding Nemo, yeah, it would be my number 1. If like Hercules and like Mulan were on this, that would be hard for me, right?
Okay.
But I never really I didn't like DreamWorks animation. Like I didn't like that animation when it first came out. Like I was a kid and I was like, change is bad. Why is it 3D? You know, I didn't like it.
Changes.
The early stuff wasn't. Yeah. I think I'm the same way. I think I felt the same way. I was just like,
And so, but I mean, obviously I love Finding Nemo, but I think, you know, depending on the vibes I'm looking for, because Finding Nemo is also like emotional. Like Finding Nemo is a better movie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it has the plot makes sense. Like there's not like, how did we get here? We don't know. You know, the animation is really well done. Like, you know, Finding Nemo is probably a better movie, but I don't know. I don't know if I might tie them as far as like how much I enjoy them.
okay. But at top, we'll throw it at the top. Makes sense.
Yeah,
Pick the movie.
but then maybe Shrek, because I think Shrek is like a good voice acting movie, you know, like because Mike Myers, well, what do we call him? Michael Myers? What would we call him? Because
No, he's
there's
Mike
that serial
Myers.
killer.
Michael Myers is the one that
this-
murders people.
Okay, so Mike
fictitiously.
Myers. That's what, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, which one is the serial killer? Which one is the guy? But I think his Shrek performance is like, you know, like that's like an all time like really great voice acting thing.
Oh,
So I feel
sure.
like Shrek would be like under this, and then maybe Atlantis because I love that, and then Monsters Inc. Because Monsters Inc. I just didn't like the animation for a while. I know people love Monsters Inc. too, and I feel
Yeah.
really bad that I don't love it because I don't like Toy Story either, and everybody loves Toy Story. So
Yeah, that's a hot take right there. We might need to cut that part.
Sorry, I don't like Toy Story.
Yeah, no.
But hey,
sure.
John
Yeah, of
Goodman
course.
again in Monsters Inc. as well, and he was great as Sully.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I need
Sorry,
like some
everybody.
time to take a step back for a second. Sorry, I just.
Sorry.
is John Goodman and Billy Crystal? Yeah, Billy Crystal.
Yeah.
Didn't like Toy Story.
Billy Crystal's
Okay,
amazing.
got it.
Well,
Yeah,
okay,
sorry.
we'll throw it at
Sorry
that
to
number
everyone
1
I've
then.
hurt with my answer. Yeah.
Wow, no, that hurt a deep part of my soul.
Yeah, but luckily it wasn't on this list, so.
There we go.
Oh boy. Okay, yeah, luckily it wasn't. Okay, next part. Any jokes / references that could not be used today? You know, I feel like I don't know, maybe this is just for me. As I don't know, I was watching it. I felt like it was a little bit of an elephant in the room. Was none of the actors minus Yzma were people of color.
Yeah.
That kind of I mean,
Paul,
not
that's
taking
my first thing. That's the first thing on my list. I said I think they would probably cast more POC actors
Yep.
or Peruvian actors if possible.
Yes. Like, again, not taking anything away from the actors. They all did a great job. I don't think anyone was inherently offensive that I really saw. I mean, maybe
there's no
save
accents
for
or
like
anything like
the depiction of not Chaka, Paka. Paka's daughter, maybe. I feel like some of the choices, like for her appearance, were like, I don't know about that.
like the pigtails.
No, like it was the almond eyes and the space between the teeth.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I felt a little bit like that's not even. I don't know why we're even bringing that up. But other than that, I was just like, because again, the actors all did great. So that was so hard. It's like I love Patrick Warburton and like his performance on Kronk, but I'm also like, could a POC actor maybe have done similarly? I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah. Well, we're about to, we can talk about that in a moment.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, so that was the only thing that I found. Jen, maybe you found some other things, but
that was my first thing, and I said only POC actor is villain.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. You know, it's funny. She didn't feel like a villain, but you're right because she was so funny and engeable. But you're right. She's the villain. Yeah,
she's the villain. I thought it was kind of funny. I said possibly ageist jokes, like they do make fun of how old she is all the time.
Great, and then cuts and goes.
Great. And like just mentioning how ancient she is all the time, and then there's a joke Kronk makes about the angel wearing a dress. I was like, maybe not that one.
Yeah, it's a robe,
and then it's a robe.
It's a robe.
But just the insinuation that
sissy.
Yeah, and then I was like, the whole relationship though between Kronk and Yzma. Now that I realized it was like a relationship, I was like, I wonder if they wouldn't do that based off of like the bringing to light of like grooming and stuff like that. But but again, that's like if you really, I don't think this movie is inherently offensive in any way.
No.
I do think the cast. I think the cast not being of the region that the film is being made in is probably the biggest thing I would change.
Yeah, I agree. I would think the same thing. Not to Trevor. Well, Trevor, you respond.
Well, yeah, I think that's the same thing. I think that just takes a little bit of effort and that could have been done. You know what I mean? That's not like a thing that makes it insanely harder, or the movie harder to make somehow. I don't think it does. I just think it just wasn't thought about, which means
at that time they just weren't hiring people of color either.
Yeah, and there was like, it's going to be hard to do because it's not normal, like not what's happening in Hollywood, whatever. And if it's just effort, then you could have done better. But I also came to the realization. So I kept being like, is this like an inappropriate relationship, blah, blah, blah. But then I realized I'm like, okay, so I was 12 when I saw this, and I'm like a 12-year-old watching this. Like, I think that these themes are actually beyond a 12-year-old, and they're not. Like, like they don't have like there's nothing sexual about their, like, it's more of a nod for the adults watching. Like, you guys get this relationship. Right. But like, there's nothing, it doesn't need to be more than that. It's just like, this dynamic, so these jokes land in a different way than they do for the kids, even though it's the same jokes landing with two different. So I thought that was well done.
Yeah, he looks like a henchman to kids. Yeah,
he looks like a henchman. Exactly. So, but like little just quips are what give you the feeling that she's like his paramour or something, or the.
And they do sleep separately in their camp.
They do exactly. So like, there's nothing really explicitly saying that. It's just being alluded to, and I think that's more for the adults being like, "Oh, okay, this is funny. This trope's funny." But it's not. It doesn't need to be more than that. It just needs to be like slightly.
There's a lot of nods to just adults. I think like there's a part where Pacha's wife, Yzma like drops something, and Pacha's wife is like heavily pregnant, and she's like, "I'll get it. I get, like, don't worry, I'll get it." And she's like leaning down. Like, that's something that probably a kid wouldn't get, but like as adults, we know like that's probably really difficult for her. Like, making the pregnant woman pick it up is like evil.
But like these movies have to have that stuff because remember, parents were taking their kids to it, and like in order to make it enjoyable. So like if you do that well, so it's almost like, oh wow, are kids too young to watch this? And then I realized, no, Disney actually is a role that actually expands what kids are getting exposed to in like really gentle, like subtle ways. But kids are going to grow and like see this stuff anyways. you might as well give it to them in like spoonfuls as opposed to like getting it dumped, like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, maybe
Yeah.
this is actually a good thing that they like stretch, because they're not the misogyny, like, you know, him going no, like turning down all the women. By the way, all those girls, I'm like,
Yeah.
you're crazy, dude.
Well, that
You're
was part
crazy.
of
Those girls.
my thing I said at the
Yeah.
beginning. So I'll say it here. I was just like, I wonder if this movie was made now, if Cusco would have been gay.
Yeah, if they would have alluded to it a little bit heavier.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it
you
would've
think
been-
that's a part of the reason he turned down all those women?
Well, just the way he was like criticizing them, it was just he was very nitpicky, and then he found flaws in these beautiful women, like, so he didn't have to be with a woman.
Also, there's
yeah.
a whole
Did you see
thing
all-
with Pacha
Okay.
kissing him,
Yeah, yeah.
and he's like, "I
he
wasn't a kiss.
dresses up.
That wasn't a kiss.
Oh,
It was gross. It was
that's
gross. He
right,
needed to make sure he
yes.
knew it was gross."
Yeah.
That's what closeted people.
And did you see all of his guards? They're all like
Ah.
body painted. Even their nipples are painted.
I did
you
notice
know?
the nipples. I thought the nipples were
Yeah.
great. Oh yeah,
That was
actually,
really funny.
really quick on that because you mentioned the guards. I forgot about this. I took note of it in the moment. I thought it was a very nice little animation touch that I didn't check between the two sides of the screen, but the guards next to each other who were dancing didn't quite match
Off.
up, and I thought that was great.
I said the
Yeah.
same thing.
thought that was really
okay,
cool.
It's great that they did that, and they added their footfalls were loud.
Yeah,
Also.
yeah. I thought that was really cool. Like
It
a
was
little
really
fun
cool.
animated because they could have just copy pasted, right? They could have just
Yeah.
done that and been like, man, they all match. That's fine. So yeah, and then like a quick. I just feel like I don't know. I don't want to belabor the point or anything like that, but I feel like a quick note maybe for some people are like whatever. Like who cares if they cast whoever they cast for this? Like it was funny and I enjoyed the voices and all that kind of stuff. I agree with you. I enjoyed the voices. I thought it was all really funny. I obviously enjoyed the movie. It was really, really good. As now an adult, you don't realize as a kid, because I don't know who these people are as a kid. You're just like,
Yeah.
that's a funny voice. Like, but as an adult, if I was taking my kid to this and I was like, oh, this is really cool, like, we're from South America or something like that. Like, oh, this is like Inca time period. That's really, really cool. Our ancestors came from this time period, whatever. And then like you hear a bunch of voices that are white voices, and you're just like, it's like,
Dang it.
yeah, you're just like, come on. Like we're gonna have like, do they know anything about the culture that they're representing? Like it just is kind of like it's a little bit of a letdown. As an adult, as a kid, you care less. You're just like the voices sound great, and they're
I think
animated,
this
so it's like who
Could have
cares?
been made anywhere though. Like this movie could have been made anywhere. Like it could be a
Yeah.
llama for something else. Like I think the background being where it like like Inca, like it could have been anything. Like this movie.
The
I don't
plot
know,
wasn't
like, the-
dependent on that culture.
It was
Exactly.
not. It was not.
And so I feel like I wonder if that was the intention the entire time, for that. But I imagine that with this cast, like it being a more serious movie, I think people would care more that they weren't,
That's probably why it wasn't.
I
accepted,
wonder,
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
landed
Like,
very well.
do we know the previous movie? Was it like a European emperor or something like that? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, was
So
it?
I think I
don't know.
saw somewhere it was like Nebraska or something.
Oh, well, then that's this checks out. Then they cast perfectly. So good. I don't know.
There's
This sounds about right, I guess. But
I don't know. I don't know if that was. I just looked it up briefly. But
Nebraska.
yeah.
Huh.
So
Lupo could've
I
done this.
but yeah, I think that's the main thing. I was like, but I really had to I'm like, I guess this could be this, and I guess that could be this. Like if I had to really fine tooth comb it of like what could be
Mhm.
offensive, but that would be like absolutely nitpicking.
Yeah.
outside
for
of
sure.
outside of the cast, I mean.
Yeah.
Like for the ages and stuff. It's like
Wait.
I don't know anybody that would be like really mad about it. Like she is the villain, so.
Oh, for sure.
Sure.
And recast mentioned. That's our next section. Trevor, you had some picks for this. I know this is like your favorite section. Why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Got people who could have done the voices, not necessarily better, or even in the vein of like, though there are more people of color in this, it wasn't more like I need more, Spanish sounding, or not even Spanish, just like South America. I honestly don't know how you get the vibe, because even Spanish sounding is literally colonialism. So now that I'm thinking about it, who do you you know what I mean, to get the voices?
Yeah,
that
to get
sound
the
different.
voices. Yeah, I think
so.
the
It's not even about
harder.
the voices. I just think it's about hiring people.
Correct.
But anyway, Cusco. I think the guy who does that voice now in most movies, like, is that kind of goofy character, is Jason Schwartzman. So
Oh,
I would
okay.
say Schwartzman, who plays Holes in Spider-Man, and He is something else in another animated movie recently that's that I thought was somebody else, and it's Jason Schwartzman every time. He's great. I don't think anyone else could be Kronk. I think Wahlburton. It feels like a disservice. It's just he has the most unique voice. That
yes, a very unique.
The way
voice,
the character's done, doing that character exactly that way, only Patrick Wahlberg could do it.
He was Spot in Across the Universe.
Spot, not hole. Yeah, sorry, Spot,
Yeah.
not holes.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I call him holes. He makes holes.
He makes holes, but he's Spot.
He's Spot. And then Yzma, I thought Issa Rae, a different version.
Oh,
of Issa
yeah,
Rae being
Issa Rae,
Yzma. She would have,
sure.
because she would have been snarky as shit.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been like the old thing, but I think she would have been more of an Ursula. She would have been more villainous, I think. She would have been a better, but Eartha Kitt also crushed that. I think that just the animation plus Eartha Kitt's voice was perfect. I think the character would look a little bit differently with Issa Rae too, to make it land, but I think she could crush it. Chaka, Pacha's wife, though I don't have Pacha in here, which is funny, because I think that John Goodman, he was just a nice guy. I don't think anyone could,
I was like, I thought you meant Pacha with Chacha or
Chaka. Maybe,
whatever.
yeah.
Chaka,
Maybe you
yeah.
put them both. But I was like, who's a motherly? Because she's a mom. She's a badass mom. So who could be like a badass mom? I think Eva Mendes could do it. Well,
yeah, I was thinking of Mendes as well. Yeah,
I like her. Yeah. I like her voice for that. And then for Rudy, I want Alan Tudyk, who played Tuk Tuk and Raya.
Yeah.
I
feel like Alan Tudyk is
Steve
the
Pirate.
go-to. Yeah.
Because I once saw a video
in Moana. Yeah.
Yeah, I once saw a video of him filming Tuk Tuk's voice in his like little, his little like Newsies hat, and he does it. He does the voice and he records it. They try it like 3 times, and then he steps back from the mic. He's like, "I went to Juilliard for this," and that's what he said. That's all he said. He's like, "I went to Juilliard, and this is what I'm doing. I'm a toucan that's going tuk tuk." So anyway, I like him. I think he would have crushed it. But those are my recasts.
Love it. Okay, very good. Jen, do you have any recasts? It's okay. You don't have to have any necessarily. You don't want any.
Oh, so my main recast was like obviously Yzma would have to be recast because she is dead. I would say I was trying to think of like classic voiced people, like actresses, and I was like looking for comedians. I thought maybe like Wanda Sykes or something for Yzma, like someone with like a really unique voice, because I feel like Eartha Kitt's voice is really unique, and I figured she could be like sassy and stuff. But I was like, maybe not. I don't know. I didn't want it to be too serious, Like I think it's such a silly character, so I was like, it has to be like a comedian. I thought even that, or maybe I don't know if you guys. It's a very niche movie, but it's Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar. It's a movie with Kristen Wiig, but Kristen Wiig plays like a really creepy, evil villain person, and she looks like Yzma. She's really pale, but she like red. I don't know. I'll send you guys a picture. She looks just like her. Like maybe Kristen Wiig could do it, but again, that wouldn't be somebody that fit. Like it wouldn't be a person of color. It's just like somebody I think does a good voice.
Sure, yeah.
But
and she would have to do a bit too voice, not like her voice, like a bit.
Well, because she does like all the SNL people, they all do all those bits and stuff like that,
Of course.
But I was just like, I thought, somebody with like a really unique voice. But I don't know who I would recast.
I don't know.
Because I feel like Kuzco and Kronk are so, and even Yzma, like with Eartha Kitt, it's like I feel like they're iconic, they're absolutely iconic. And John Goodman, I mean, everybody loves John Goodman, right? Like. I don't know.
Yeah.
Pacha, man, he's perfect.
Yeah, like he has like that big warm bear hug of a voice, and you know,
it's kind of hard to mimic that.
Yeah, I feel like the wife could have kind of been subbed with anybody though. Like Eva Mendes totally but it'd be cute if it was like her and maybe like Ryan Gosling. They did a movie together again. That'd be cute. But
okay.
Like if they played a married couple in the movie. But again, it's like he's not a person. I don't know. I feel so bad. Like, because I don't want to I think there's a part too where you're like, I don't want to put somebody in a role just because we're filling the role,
Oh yeah, exactly. No, yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's the thing that's really tough is like, that's what's so hard about this.
And I've grown up. Like I've been watching this movie for like 20 years, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to imagine somebody else.
You've cemented those voices in your brain, so it's hard to replace them with anything, for sure.
But yeah, for Rudy, I didn't even know Rudy was a character. So Alan Tudyk does work for that for me. But
I'll just go Alan Tudyk across the board for that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, who would you go, Paul?
I only have a couple. It's not a ton. For Cusco, I thought it could be interesting to have Donald Glover be Cusco.
Ooh,
I think that could be
I
kind
like
of
that.
fun. Yeah, he's goofy. He's very sarcastic, very dry, which Cusco is as well. I don't know if he could have done like the sound effects as well, but I think Donald Glover could have been good for that. For Kronk, again, very tough. I'm thinking like I, I don't really want to replace Kronk's voice because again, it is who he is, and he's a big, goofy, dumb kind of guy. So that was difficult. I had trouble finding anyone for that, but I think I'm going to leave him as is. Yzma, I was thinking Quinta Brunson from Abbott Elementary. She might be kind of fun.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like she has less of an old lady kind of voice, but I feel like that'd be kind of a fun cast for that. You know, and then Chaka, I kind of feel like is whatever.
Pretty
I don't know. Chaka could kind of
motherly,
go either way.
someone motherly.
Yeah, someone motherly. You said it before. Eva Mendes could easily be that. Rudy, I thought it could have been kind of fun to have Michael McDonald, who's from Mad TV. He plays what's his name? Look what I can do.
Stewie.
Yeah, Stewart. I just feel like he's good. He's a good voice actor. I feel like he could do a funny voice for that. But that's pretty much it.
Like
I mean,
Bill Hader.
Yeah. The only other person I thought that maybe could be like Kronk.
I thought Bill Hader too, actually, for Kronk.
Oh, Bill Hader. Oh,
but
sure.
He's another white guy. He's another white guy.
He's also doesn't have a low enough voice. Like I would also say, like Momoa maybe is.
I feel like he could do a low enough voice if he wanted to.
For sure.
So real quick, Paul. Speaking of Abbott Elementary, I bet she plays Barbara Howard, Cheryl something. She would be a good Yzma.
The older teacher.
Barbara Howard. She's like
yeah, she would be a good Yzma. Yeah, you're right. That'd be really good too. Yeah, I do like that. And then I didn't have necessarily character for this, but I feel like fitting in Aries Spears somewhere back in the day. I feel like Aries Spears would have been funny. I got another Mad TV.
I don't know who that is.
Mad TV alum. Once you see him, you'll know who Aries Spears is.
Okay.
But yeah, he's very funny.
I feel like if I could like see a bunch, I just don't know actors. I think like I know their characters they play and stuff.
Yes,
it's just like, and it's hard for me. I don't know if I'm just like my brain's bad, but I always feel like I'm like this is the person. Like someone was like, who would you recast in like Marvel roles, or who would you make Anakin? I'm like, I don't know. Like I can't even imagine who I would recast in these roles because I feel like they are those people.
Yeah, once they've become those people, they're cemented, and it's very hard to like
the
think
Witcher,
of that.
The whole thing going on with The Witcher right now, where people are like, "That's not my Witcher," like.
Yeah.
And he
Henry
looks
Cavill.
fine. Like he's
Sweet
conventionally
Lord.
attractive. Like he looks like he could be But if he had been first, I think it would have been fine. But going after Henry Cavill, like that's not going to work. Like no one's going to buy this.
No, he
looks like he's like cosplaying as the Witcher. Like it's crazy.
That's exactly what he looks like.
Yeah, it looks like he's cosplaying. Yeah, it's tough. But no, you're right, Jen. I think that this section is difficult for me too. I think it's just the way your brain works. And I know that Trevor really loves this section. So I actually my favorite part about this is listening to Trevor tell me who the people he would have recast. Like, I never thought of that. Oh, I never thought of that.
I think we're just going to call this the Trevor section.
Trevor, who would you recast?
Who would you recast? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually like kind of setting the standard too that like maybe just list like I'll just list like up to 7 characters, and you can just do whatever ones, if any, you want, and it doesn't really. And I try to do them all because it's like it's almost like my version of a crossword puzzle. I'm like, I gotta think about this,
that
and like it's a puzzle.
It's satisfying to find people who fit.
It is satisfying to find people who fit, and like remembering other people, and I don't know, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. All right, we've come to our final rating. Final rating.
Wrap it up.
How fondly do you remember this movie? Rating versus watching it now. Like, what's your nostalgic value? What's your current value? 1 out of 10. I'm gonna shoot it to Trevor.
I remember it being like a 7, and then remember like, I like that movie. It's great. And then I watched it last night again. I was like, this is better than I thought it was. I gave it an 8, so I'm gonna give it an 8 overall. It's back up to an 8. Moved it up.
Very nice. High score.
8 out of 10, and I'm trying to keep the 8 out of 10 is my like, unless it's the greatest thing I've ever seen, it's an 8's about as good as I'm going to go. So that's
I like that.
I loved it. I had a great
hard
time.
and fast boundaries. Yeah, it was a good time. Jen,
a good time.
What was yours?
What about RuPaul as Yzma?
RuPaul is. I can't think of their
Sassy
voice.
enough.
Yeah. I don't know, because Yzma gives me drag queen energy.
Yeah.
The energy would
thinking
be
about
there.
it.
The energy would be there. It's the energy thing. 100%.
Okay, but I would give it
Dude.
probably an 8 too, because there is a lot of plot holes. So
Yeah.
Oh,
like
sure.
I think
yeah.
I
It's
think
not a
enjoyment
masterpiece of a movie.
10,
No,
quality
it's
of
not.
movie maybe. I think an 8 is fine, because I love it like a 10, but I acknowledge that it's not. So 8 out of 10.
I love it like a 10. Acknowledge that it's not. That's great. Okay. And I don't have a nostalgic value because I never watched it when I was a kid, but watching it now, as far as just a Disney movie, pure animation, I'm going to give this like a 7.2, 7.3 out of 10. Good. High rating. I mean, funny. I think all the comedic timing was fantastic. And I love that they addressed plot holes right in the movie. You know, like they have some. It was goofy and the jokes still were relevant. There are however many 20 plus 24 years later. So yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Nice. This is the first movie I've made you watch that you liked.
Yeah.
Yay.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Didn't like the other ones.
Wait, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because it was
Yeah. Sorry. I was
you didn't
thinking.
like Robin Hood Men
I
in
was like,
Tights,
no, I
you
like
didn't
Star
Young
Wars, and I was like,
Frankenstein,
I made you
you
watch
didn't like
that.
Princess Bride. Yeah, you didn't like those.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed Princess Bride. I did.
didn't like
I did
Spaceballs?
like that. Spaceballs I had a hard time with.
Really?
Yeah, I just couldn't get behind it.
You didn't like Mel
Sorry.
Brooks at all. None of the Mel Brooks movies really.
Mel Brooks didn't
Tough.
really hit for me.
Okay.
But maybe we can watch those later. Any hidden Easter eggs and or anecdotes, Trevor, before we sign this movie off?
I only got one. As we know with Disney movies, and maybe Jen didn't know this, but there's always a hidden Mickey in them. And the hidden Mickey in this movie is in the opening scene. There's a silhouette of Mickey's house. Mickey Mouse's head, not house. Sorry, Mickey Mouse's head hidden in the clouds. So you could just see it just subtly in the opening
I
sequence.
didn't know there was one in every movie.
Yep,
That's cool.
they like put it on a sign, or it's like outside of a door or something in the background. They put it in every movie. Yeah.
Wow. I did not
That's
know that
it.
either.
There we go.
Something new. Okay. All right. And I just want to give a special thank you, shout out to our special guest, Jen, for joining us for a
Jenntacles.
May
Thank you, Jen.
Generate Action podcast episode. Technically, this is episode 2, 3 of the May Generate Action podcast. 3?
Technically, yes.
Yeah. Look at that.
I believe that was episode 98 overall too. We're approaching 100.
It's like a sub.
Wow, and you've only
podcast
had me on
episode.
3 times. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's more than anyone else.
Next time.
Oh, yay! Okay, I feel special again.
That's bad now.
We'll run it back next week. Let's go.
To our listeners, we do hope you run it back next week. Listen out for the new episode. We haven't decided what we're going to review, but it's going to be good. Whatever it is, it's going to be good. Be sure to leave a 5-star rating or 10 out of whatever it is, anywhere that you're listening. Please, if you can leave a review, do. And again, give us suggestions on what movies you think that we should watch. We read those. We disregard them, but we do read them. So please let us know what you think we should watch. No, seriously. Let us know what you think of the podcast. Let us know what you think of having Jen on the podcast. Did you love it? Did you hate her
Sorry, I'm
COVID
sick.
voice?
Sorry, everybody.
Did you like the random part where we thought that she was murdered, but she just sneezed?
I had to sneeze.
Let us know what you think. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.